Hi, my name is Matthew Berner, and I'm in Chem 110, Lab Section 7, and I'll be doing a video lab report for experiment number 2, reactions of copper and percent yield. So first, this experiment started with copper turnings. Then, nitric acid, which was a liquid, was added to the copper turnings. The copper turned green and dissolved in the solution. Brown fumes were released into the fume hood, and those brown fumes were nitrogen dioxide gas. After the solution was diluted with water, a liquid, it turned a light transparent blue color, which was copper nitrate. Copper nitrate is an aqueous solution. Since copper stays throughout the entire cycle, copper will always be in the bolded box. Next, sodium hydroxide, a liquid, was added. The solution then turned a royal blue color, and a slushy precipitate started to form, which was copper hydroxide. The liquid that was left in the solution was water. The solution was then heated up and a black substance started to form. The black substance, copper oxide, which was a solid, eventually settled to the bottom, and water was the liquid that stayed at the top. Then sulfuric acid, a liquid, was added, and it dissolved the precipitate, and the liquid turned back into a bright blue color, which was copper sulfate. This was an aqueous solution. The liquid that was left was water. And finally, granular zinc metal was added, and the zinc immediately chunked up, and the liquid solution got lighter and lighter until it eventually became clear. The zinc started to fizz and steam and turned reddish brown and into a solid and back into copper. The gas that was given off from the fizz and steam is hydrogen. And finally, the liquid that was decanted is zinc sulfate. now we'll be finding how to do percent, or how to calculate percent yield of copper. So percent yield is going to be the mass that was measured at the end of the experiment, the mass of the copper that was measured at the end of the experiment, over the initial mass of copper to begin the experiment. And you would multiply that by 100 to find percent yield. So in the copper that my lab partner and I measured at the end of the experiment weighed 0.330 grams. And the initial mass of the copper was 0.502 grams. If you were to take this top number and divide it by the bottom number, and then multiply that by 100, you would get 65.7%. Excuse me. We got a percent yield under 100, and this could have been because while we were decanting the liquid, it was very hard to make sure the liquid that was decanted was 100% water, and we could have decanted a small amount of copper out, which could have then affected the final mass of our copper. Some people could have gotten a percent yield of over 100, and this could have been because they did not dry their copper out all the way, giving them a weight that was over 100. And those are the experimental errors that would lead to either a percent yield above 100 or below 100.